I had another bad incident when I was meeting a girl and I was meeting her outside the pub and I thought I was quite tired. And when I'm quite tired, I think if I do a few stretches, it'll wake me up. Right. I didn't see her coming, so as she was walking down the street, it looked like I was limbering up.
What were you doing? What kind of move? Show us the move.
Well, so you start with something simple, but it was a long... I didn't realise it was a long street, so it would have started like that.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
It got quite pelvic by the end. So there was kind of that one, and then kind of...
Waiting for a girl.
Waiting for a girl just working on those hamstrings. Yeah. You don't want to pull one of those at a vital moment later.
Yeah, it was a disaster. Yeah. This whole thing's really brought up some bad memories for me.
I've never felt so good.
Top way to boost your self-confidence. Go on.
I had a joint birthday party with someone with less friends than me. I've never felt so high in my life.
John, how did you feel about that? Sexiest celebrity chef? Heston is a very acceptable 8th. 8th. This is just on sexiness.
Heston would be the most interesting to have sex with, wouldn't he? Take your clothes off. I'm going to go and dip my cock in liquid nitrogen. That's it.
Be multi-sensory banging.
Put these headphones in. Something spectacular is going to happen. I want you to be able to taste it fully. Some people got annoyed with the amount of coverage they had to do. Some news reporters got a little bit sort of sick of it. Now, have a look at this.
Not everybody is enjoying the spectre of the speculation, endless speculation. A couple of texts coming in to the BBC. Come on, BBC, people do have babies. Stop saying the same thing over and over. Give us the rest of the news. What a load of sycophantic rubbish, says another. Good morning. And God help us if this ends up a long labour. That's a view that I have heard expressed here by a couple of people. So, you know, we'll just wait and see. But until then, we're going to be speculating about this royal birth with no facts to hand at the moment.
You've sort of got to admire his honesty there. He's just going,
I actually like that. I like when people just say it as it is. Very refreshing.
John, what do you make of it?
Well, it's obviously significant, isn't it? But the coverage of it was... Because it was there, it was a 12-hour labour, which is double what she'd done to that point in her life.
Freddie, were you excited about the royal birth?
No.
No.
It's nice. Everyone has children. I've got 3 myself, but we didn't get that sort of billion.
Would you give any advice to the royal parents? Kate,
yeah, you've got to get him into a strict routine, make him sleep through early doors.
I imagine that's easier for you than most parents because you are terrifying. So if you say to a baby, go to sleep, it'll go, all right.
To be fair, compared to a baby, everyone's quite terrifying. Like, compared to a baby, I'm quite intimidating.
No, not you. Okay, not a good example to pick. You look younger than the royal baby.
Oh, he does. But he's so cute. No, I know, but you're cute. Looking at me face, you're so cute. You know what? When you're 90, you'll still look like that. You'd be glad.
I didn't come on here to be flirted with by Lorraine. Do you know the last time I met Lorraine? I've only met Lorraine once, and I want to kind of clear this up because you had a very similar approach of kind of flirt patronisation. And then just before I left, I was getting in the taxi from this show, and as the door was closing, you said, if I was 20 years younger, and the door closed. And I've got no idea how that sentence ended.
You'd be an embryo.
Not everyone in Scotland is for independence. Take a look at some Glasgow Rangers fans and what they think about it.
Oh, it's Simon is a twat, is a twat. Oh, it's Simon is a twat, is a twat.
Why is he a twat?
Because he wants to break up in union, and he shags grannies. He's a granny shagger.
That's from the Scottish Newsnight, I believe.
I was in favour, but now I know he shags grannies. I'm changing my mind. I don't have any time for independence. When I grew up in the West Country, and there was the talk of Cornish independence.
Only among you and your friends.
No, I was from Devon, so I don't think
It's the same.
that's the most offensive thing you've ever said.
Not even close.
Don't Devon want to be independent as well?
No, we can't.
What do you mean you can't?
Well, we're in between Cornwall and
That
Britain.
doesn't stop you. Look where France is between Spain and Germany.
You struggled with that one, then, didn't you?
Did you cry when you were the best in the world at something?
No.
I would lose
not
my
at
shit.
All.
Not at all.
Like-
Well, can I have it then?
Yeah. Just want
Cheers.
one. Don't two.
I didn't know that we were meant to bring our gold medals with us.
I like the fact you brought both of them.
Well, you see, just in case you want to lick the other one as well.
Do you lick these?
I've already licked your... I've already... And you've
Whoa,
already...
whoa, finish that sentence.
I've licked Hannah's gold medal. And Jimmy was there at the time.
It was the night that you won. You came on
was.
Channel 4 after you won the... was it the 100 and 200 the same day?
No, they were a week apart, but I think it was.
All right.
See.
Let's have a little look at Hannah in action.
And surely this is going to be just a question of how fast can she get close to the world record. She's being roared all the way. An amazing performance. Everybody is standing already. She's getting an ovation. The flashlights are going off. The only question is, what time will it be? Can she go close to the world record? Unbelievable performance. She held her nerve with aplomb, and once again, we are saluting a British champion.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
There's this company called Cash for Gold. I don't know if you've heard of it. If you can get an envelope big enough, I think you're set for life.
Back to the X Factor. What else? Has anyone been watching?
They went to the judges' houses last week. There was this situation where they found a couple having sex in one of the bushes at Gary's house. And they said what had happened. They said, oh, we were just having a picnic and got carried away. That's not a thing. If I'm having a picnic and get carried away, I have a second scone. That's what I do. Never do you go to Pepperami. Well, I'll see you in the bushes.
Do you manscape, Josh?
I don't, actually. Do you think I should get into it?
Well, I just think I'm looking at your hair. I'm imagining downstairs is. It's like a pistachio in a bird's nest.
You never trim your pubes.
No, but I'm going to as soon as I get home. It's like
It's a whole new world for you, mate.
So where do you start?
Well, wherever there's hair.
So you just go full skinhead?
No, you can do as much stuff as you want off, like.
You got to be careful of the nuts, though, because sometimes they fall between the teeth of the blade.
Yeah.
Oh, how small are your nuts?
You moved recently?
I have, yeah.
How did that go?
It was all right, yeah. But there was a prosthetic limb in the tree in the garden.
In the tree?
Yeah, in the tree. And it's quite bleak trying to work out what the narrative of that is. Either someone has removed someone's leg and gone, try and get it down, or someone tried to scale the tree and got into difficulty and essentially had to leave that limb behind.
That is the one advantage to having a false leg, though, isn't it? Because, you know, you get it trapped somewhere and you go, I can just leave that behind.
127 hours.
127 hours would have been a very different film. Unclip, and we're away.
Yeah.
Was it a deal breaker when you got the house? Does the limb come with it, or am I going to have to do my own?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't notice the limb on the first viewing.
Surely it came up in the survey.
It didn't come up in the survey.
Tragic news, Richard, your new house has only got one leg. What about you, Josh? Where are you living at the moment?
I've got my suitcase with me.
Are you currently homeless? We booked a homeless boy on the show. That doesn't seem right.
Well, very few homeless people have a wheelie suitcase, Jimmy. But...
Well, you do. Where were you staying last night?
On the floor of one of my close friends.
Really?
You haven't got any close friends. So you were sleeping on the floor?
Does your close friend run a homeless shelter? Was there like an old seaman next to you called Albert, kept coughing and having nightmares about the Falklands, going, ah!
Yes.
If you're watching this and you've been touched by Josh's plight, there's a number that's going to come up at the end of the show, and all contributions would be very welcome.
I think people who've been touched by Josh is why he had to leave his last address.
It's why he's got to tell the neighbours now.
My best mate is Paddy. If I married Paddy, I could go to football with him. We could play PlayStation. We would never argue. The sex is a problem.
Go IKEA and just have meatballs. That'd be quality, wouldn't it? No furniture, meatballs and home. Perfect IKEA trip.
Well, I really think we've got to the heart of this issue.
The arguments against it are the best thing, because there are people who are just against it because they're slightly homophobic, but they can't say that, so they have to quickly come up with a... Like Norman Tebbit, who went, what if we had a lesbian queen? I think that's the tribute band this country has been waiting for.
Well, the thing is that the people against it always go, oh, it's promoting homosexuality, but it's not promoting it like you'll get swept up in it. It's not a choice if you're gay or not. Do you know what I mean? It's not like if someone keeps banging on about it, you're going to give it a go, like the 5-2 diet. Do you know what I mean? It's sexuality, not Pilates. Do you know, you're not going to get swept away by other people's recommendations.
The Gambian president said it's going to lead to the end of humanity. I would believe that if we found some evidence that that had led to the end of the dinosaurs. If we dug up a dinosaur and he was, you know, with a rainbow flag...
Is this your idea for Jurassic Park 6?
Jurassic Park 6?
Actually, the Tyrannosaurus has something of the...
He's nice. People say, oh, it's going to... If it's ruined, it overshadows family life, it's going to ruin the kind of institution of the family. It's not. No dad is going to go, oh, sorry, I forgot to pick you up from school, because I was marrying a man. I'm not just going out, going, oh, I can do it now, I'm going to marry John. I'm not...
I'll do it.
No, I'm not going to do that now.
Well, it's on camera now, isn't it?
Oh, please get married, then you can come on my show. It'd be lovely. We could do like a lovely makeover on both of you, and it'd be gorgeous.
What's the problem with what we look like now?
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with you now, but if you're getting married, for goodness sake, you're going to take this seriously. If you're getting married, you have to look better.
Well, I can tell you, gay marriage is not in our top 3. Now that gay people can get married, there's going to be an explosion of extravagant, flamboyant and over-the-top weddings. Move over, fat gypsies, it's about to get fabulous. Fingers on buzzers.
Is it Edward Snowden who kind of spread a load of secrets about the USA and then went on the run? And then no country would take him. And there was a point where, like, every country was going, Ecuador was saying no and Russia was saying no, and you're thinking, he's going to have to go through clearing. He's going to end up extradited to Nottingham-Trent. That's how this is. They described him as the world's most fuckable nerd. Disastrous for John, who's been knocked off top.
What have the nation been talking about this week?
They've been talking about Doctor Who because it was the anniversary, 50 years,
Yeah.
an enormous hoo-ha.
I guess so. I don't watch it, but...
You don't watch it?
No. Is that because you're crouched behind the settee in your house, scared?
No, I just know it's not for me. Like, everyone said everyone loves Doctor Who. Well, it got, was it 9 million viewers?
I think 10.2 million viewers.
Well, there's 50 million old people who didn't watch it. There's 50 million... I'm more normal than the people who watched it. I watched a bit of it once. I thought, this is stupid, this show. Like, there's no rules. Anything can happen. The writers must just sit down and go, we can do whatever we want. They could cut and paste a couple of pages of Teletubbies script in the middle of the show and nobody would notice. Nobody would go, that's a bit odd. Some Teletubbies have wandered on and made some toast and custard. And it just carries on. It's a load of bollocks. And there's 55 million of us can't be wrong. None of them are in. None of them are in.
John Hurt, he got the role of Doctor Who between when it was on TV originally and then when it was brought back. Which isn't a job, is it?
No.
That's like going, oh, I'm an actor. I played Bilbo Baggins between the first Hobbit movie and the second Hobbit movie.
I sort of believe you were the Hobbit between the films. I'd buy that.
I've just had a baby. It changed my perception of everything. Like, honestly, previously,
Yeah.
I'd like worry about my own mortality, but now, quite happily be dead.
Does having a baby affect your voice at all? Because you sound... Does it involve a lot of shouting, having a baby?
Shut up! Shut up! When are you moving out?
You're aware of a onesie?
Yeah.
OK, there's now a twinsy, which is like a onesie for sort of 2 people.
That's disgusting.
Josh, pop that on. It's a twinsy.
That's a onesie for people with personal space issues.
While you put that on, Trevor, you don't like the weather here?
You say it like I don't like the weather, like you like the weather, like everybody likes the weather.
I've got something for you. I've got you a full-body umbrella. Try that out for size.
Oh, yeah, that's very
nice. In there, fella. You can put it up, don't panic.
It looks like a see-through Ku Klux Klan outfit.
This is fantastic.
No, you're right.
Nobody's going to buy this. That's like a 3-legged race. What is that?
It's
you
a
can't even
onesie.
have sex in it.
This is the most intense experience I've ever had.
Is this sex?
Yeah. Put up, John.
I don't know if it is.
Put up.
I don't know if it is sex, but I am going to count it to my tally if it is.
I don't even have to walk like this. I can walk normally.
Pop down your head. You always broke my foot.
Johnston, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
It's the US elections. The choice between 2 quite dull men who are terrible at talking. They had a debate this week, and they're just both terrible at actually talking. It was really hard to listen to them go, we got to good-rate the economy because if it gets any more badified, we're going to be saturated until, like, 2000 and later than now, because... don't really... There's just
You should throw your hat in the ring. You've got something. Those some good policies.
It's called Mitt Romney. Which
yes.
It's not a... Yeah.
You've really cracked to the very heart of the US debate, haven't you?
Mitt is not a name. No one's called Mitt. And I've had a good week because I convinced my girlfriend that it was short for mitten.
Mitten Romney.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend?
Don't. Mitt Romney is gaff prone, and he once got in trouble because he travelled for 12 hours in his car with his dog attached to the roof rack. It's the only dog that's ever actually stuck its head into the window of a car during a journey.
That wasn't his fault, though, because to be fair to him, he asked the dog, how do you want to get to Ontario? And the dog went, ruff, ruff.
John Richardson, everyone. John Richardson. Good, I like it. What do you think people have been talking about this week?
Mike Tyndall, naughty old Mike Tyndall, has been filmed online in a club cavorting with a lady. And he said, no, it's all right, we were friends from uni. And then someone remembered that he didn't go to uni. And then he said, oh, it's all right, it was a friend from the wedding. Which is good, because it means if that's what he's doing to wedding guests, at some point in the next couple of weeks, the Queen is going to get it.
He said at one point they described it, he got her in an affectionate headlock. That's like the best euphemism for a blowjob I've ever read.
Excuse me, love, it's my birthday. Any chance of an affectionate headlock?
He admitted something had happened, though, because they spoke to him and he used the expression blown out of all proportion.
Josh, do you drive?
I failed my first test after 3 minutes. I knew I'd failed when he said the words, "Watch out for that lorry." But I'd done better than someone else had seen at the test centre. I watched a woman, she walked out, got in her car, went to go forwards, but reversed onto a bank. The wheels spun, and then her and her examiner just got out and went back into the test centre. She failed within a second.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
All look like people who, when they come out of the conference, they still leave their little lanyards on when they get into the hotel. Even though they know. There's a point on the train where they think, oh, I'm not at the conference anymore, I should take this off. And I thought, this will be an interesting conversation starter in the bar. So, I see you've got a landlord. Yes, I've been at the Labour Party conference. Take it off, you dick. You're not there anymore. It's like they're festival, like they wear them all year. Like, yeah, I've got all my festivals. Yeah, I went to all the conferences. I'm pretty important. Are you really?
You know that's all happened in your head?
Yeah.
None of that happened. You're so annoyed with a man on a train that you've imagined who's left his badge on.
You've just
that hasn't
created
happened.
this. No, it's just classic. Nobody does that.
They do.
Nobody's bothered about any. But of all the things to get annoyed about, it's not like, and he didn't take his laminate off. Also, you're just a bastard. You left it on.
I genuinely believe, like, there's times when you're on a train and you see someone with their little thing hanging out and you think, oh, you want me to ask what that is?
No.
It was the same during the Olympics when they all had their caps on and their bags and they're like, yeah, I'm helping make the Olympics happen. Well, you're on a train now. It's not happening here, is it?
Are you having...
You're having a go at all the Olympic volunteers. That's what John's doing.
I'm not having a go at the ones who were volunteers outside.
Could you do me a favour?
Yes.
Could you do me a favour? Could you put away your gold medals? Because
I'm sorry.
it's over now and it's
Yeah.
boring John.
Yeah.
Because John doesn't like it when people remember nice things they've been to.
I don't like
There he is, killing joy.
Gangnam Style.
Hey, pull it back.
I went to the Paralympics and I had my laminate. And I went for a meal. I went for lunch before. Oh.
You leave it on?
Well, the day before I'd forgotten it, so I thought I'll put it on. I'll put my coat over it. That's fine. Took my coat off to eat, and then the guy came over and he said, "Oh, what's that?" And I said, "Oh." He said, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, I've got to be at the Paralympics today." And he
That's
said,
an interesting story, actually. I've got to be at the Paralympics. No, you're right, John. It is annoying, yeah.
If he'd taken his laminate off and lost it, he couldn't get in. The reason they keep it on is that's how they get in to do their job.
You left it on so that he would ask and you go, sorry, I'm doing a bit of TV work, apparently. It's really boring, but if you could bring the food quickly, because I've got to be on TV in like an hour, so anyway. Working at the Paralympics, yeah, it's pretty boring. I'm sorry you asked me about it. With your girlfriend as well, with your little lanyard and your girlfriend. And,
That's the real issue. People with laminates have relationships.
Yeah, I was just wearing a laminate in a bar. She just came up to me and said, what's that? Oh, God, yeah, I didn't even know I had it. It's massive and it's really heavy. And when I took my coat off, I thought, oh, bloody laminate, I'll leave it on. What's that? It's just a laminate that points down at my penis. I've got a penis. Maybe you want to touch it and be my boyfriend.
What do people want to do before they're 30? What do you think, Josh?
Skinny dipping.
Have you ever been skinny dipping?
Of course I haven't. Can't swim, don't want to die naked. I could go skinny paddling, but that looks awful on a beach.
Surely, like, if you're going to be naked, the beach is the worst place to be.
Yeah.
Because it gets everywhere, doesn't it?
I'd rather someone was naked than wearing a Speedo, though, because I think a Speedo's like suspense in a horror film, you know? Like, you know something terrible is happening, but you don't know what the monster looks like.
Most people prefer playing sport to watching it on TV. True or false? What do you think?
I never liked playing sport because I was very unsporting.
Really?
I'm not very good at sport. When we did the cross-country, by the time I finished, they'd packed away the finish line. So essentially, I'm still running that race to this day.
Joe, Josh, come and join me in the middle for the special 8 out of 10 Cats memory test. Come on up. OK. OK, there are 20 objects under here. I'm going to show them to you. All you have to do is memorise them. Understood?
Yeah.
OK. Now, you've been fitted with electric shock pads. Apparently, electric shocks help your memory. In fact, I'll give you a little boost now, OK? Little memory boost.
All right, go on. Oh, Jimmy, turn it down a little bit.
OK.
Just a little bit, make my nipples go hard.
We're going to do a little test. Boost your memory. Here we go.
It's nice in a way, though.
Oh, it's not. You like
OK, let's play the 8 out of 10 Cats memory test. OK. You ready? You've got 20 seconds to
20
memorise
seconds?
20 objects. Right. OK, there you go. Right. OK, so you've got tomato, you've got sunglasses, got a rubber glove, you've got a dinosaur, you've got half a Scotch egg, got a pizza cutter. That's a kazoo.
Kazoo.
That's a rubber ducky.
I'd leave that one, Joe.
Right, wait there 1 second.
That is it, OK. It's pretty easy. Now, all you've got to do is name those 20 objects.
Yeah.
Easy.
OK, you go first.
Kazoo.
OK, Josh, you'll go.
Gazoo. No,
Joe, you'll go.
Orange.
We'll give you that. Satsuma.
Cheers.
Tomato.
We had some. Oh, Jimmy!
You're not allowed to hesitate.
I wasn't hesitating. I was about to say it.
What were you about to say?
I was about to say the little heart glasses.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
A dinosaur. A dice.
Teeth.
Oh, a tea bag.
Correct.
Playing card.
Oh. There was
Which playing card?
Oh, I know
Which playing card?
Get it wrong.
Oh,
got
come
buzzing.
on, mate.
Buzzing.
10.
Eight of spades.
10 spades.
8 of spades.
10
Go
of
on, get in.
spades.
Who got it right? Is it my
OK, you'll go, yeah.
A pen.
Blue London bus.
Teeth. Teeth.
I've said it.
Jimmy, let go of it. It's nice for making a sweat.
Oh, I can't. Oh, no. I can't remember anymore. No. A tray. It was all on a tray.
It was on a tray, yeah. Joe?
Are we still playing? We must have done it by now. We had a rubber ducky.
Yes. Pearl necklace.
Yes.
Don't,
and
Jimmy.
we had a rubber glove.
Come on.
Yes,
How am
Jimmy,
I being
do it.
beaten by Joe Swash at this?
Well, that's...
Oh! I can't think of any more.
Never do it to him, Jimmy.
No!
Never do it to him.
I'll give you each other's. Lorraine, are you sporty during
No,
sports?
well, I don't really do very much sport, but I love to watch football. And
You watch football? Who's your team?
Dundee United.
OK, and you like football as well?
Yeah. We've got the most handsome manager. He's gorgeous, and we have got the most beautiful strips. Fantastic colour, tangerine and black.
What I like, Lorraine, is you're really moving the idea of what a female football fan like really forward.
Most annoying thing about sharing a house, what do you think?
I think the most annoying thing is when your brother drops a knife on your foot. That's pretty annoying.
Yeah, I maybe think that's in a higher bracket than annoying.
Well, it's all right. It's all right because I can't feel my feet, so it's all right. But,
The most depressed I've ever been was my flatmate was loudly having sex while I was downstairs washing up the 2 champagne glasses that he'd just drunk from.
Sounds like something from John's life.
I hope you shooed them upstairs as well. Now, I need to do this washing up. You go. Surely everyone's talking about the Liberal Democrat conference.
Try and stop me. Hey, Birmingham for a week with Lib Dems? Come on!
They've really been rumbled now, haven't they? Like, last year they were the cool party, and now you look at them and they all just look a bit weird. Like, any Liberal Democrat, like Sarah Tether and Danny Alexander, they just look like, if you asked them if they wanted a drink, they'd say, I don't like drink, I just never like the taste. Oh, sod off.
See, my favourite guy that attended was the guy that had... he was a big Lib Dem, but he had a full-body tattoo.
That is a bad look when a whole audience goes, ooh. That is an error.
What I like about that is that you're looking at him, and at no point you're thinking, well, that's a bad haircut.
Do you know what I love about him more than anything? I love the fact he goes, well, I'm going to the Lib Dem conference, better put a tie on.
At least he's unique. At least he's like, no single unique thing has come out of the Liberal... There was a point in Nick Clegg's speech where he genuinely says, do you know, the Lib Democrats, what we need to do is not just stop bad things, but do good things. Hallelujah, thank God someone said it. It's time for goodies in. I haven't bought this cape for no reason. I can fly!
There was this thing with Nick Clegg. There was a Daily Mail story about how they'd said he was going to stand down, or had promised his wife he was going to stand down, and he said it was 2,000% wrong, which presumably means they could have been 1,900% less wrong, and they still would have been 100% wrong. It's a fantastic margin of error.
It's a hell of a thing.
They had, Hugh Grant was there, and they said he had a 7-minute breakfast with Nick Clegg. He's clearly done that thing you do on a blind date where you go, just phone me 7 minutes in. If it's going badly, I'll pretend there's an emergency. What, Colin Firth dropped out of a rom-com? Yeah, I'll be there fast, don't worry.
Sean, what do you think the best invention of all time?
It's got to be the hat, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, before the hat, what people had to endure...
That's very ladylike, Claudia. I enjoy that noise.
She's just about to tan herself.
Anything coming from the sky, generally, if you live on this planet for a while, anything comes from the sky is bad. It's rain, it's sun, it's wind. Sometimes it's like anvils, if you're in a cartoon. You need a special hat for that one. It's got to be the hat.
What about cheese strings?
Don't be so bloody childish. Not cheese strings.
It's not cheese.
We're talking sensible inventions.
Yes.
String and cheese, it's two things that we needed, but now we only need them in
But
one place.
it doesn't work
No.
as string, I can
No.
tell you that. So if you try to wrap a parcel in that stuff, and it doesn't work as cheese, because it tastes like the rim of a car door, you know, that sort of rubber stuff.
He's right.
So it fails on both. What it has got is shiny packaging to attract children, who, as we know, are idiots.
Dottie, what were you like at school?
I was the one that got kicked out of the class quite a lot.
Oh, right, OK.
That was me. I think they weren't challenging me.
What kind of challenge did you want?
I just felt like, I don't need this stuff. Do you know what I mean? When am I going to use this?
All the time. Yesterday, I was with a mate and we had 7 apples.
Right.
And he said to me, he said, I want a third of them. How are we going to work this out? But I don't remember. I can use a Bunsen burner.
But when have you ever had to use that? Do you know what I mean?
All the time, friend will come round. Cup of tea. Pop on the Bunsen burner. Blue flame.
So you trained to be a professional fighter and had a professional fight against an American?
It was a strange thing because the boxing, which I found was... It's quite a camp sport. We went for a weigh-in. You strip down to your underpants. You stand in front of a man eyeballing him in front of a room full of other men. And I'm stood at this fella thinking, what am I doing? We did
I suppose you're competing for a belt and a purse. It is quite camp.
Yeah. And
you won the fight, didn't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it to be investigated. I did win, yes.
Yeah. What happened to him? Has he won any other fights since?
He could not return to America. He's been beaten in a boxing ring by a cricketer who is soft as shit.
When you say you're as soft as shit, I mean, you're sitting next to two people that are maybe, like, no offence, fellas, but maybe a little bit softer.
I think I could beat up...
He stood up too quickly and felt faint there.
I think I'd beat John in a boxing match. No?
Well, let's do it.
I reckon we should.
Fight,
I reckon we should do this.
Fight.
This isn't the Middle Ages or the schoolyard.
The Middle Ages?
Is that not the kind of trash-talking people do?
Mate, you've not quite acquired the taste of trash talking. No, I would beat you tomorrow.
Would you like a knuckle sandwich?
You won't be able to eat any you won't be able to eat any sandwiches without any teeth.
I'll lend you some, Josh.
What do you think, Susie, most annoying habit?
When you send a WhatsApp, then you can see that they've read it and they don't respond.
Oh, I'll get back to you. Yeah, I don't like WhatsApp. Everything about it freaks me out. When you're writing and you know people can see you writing and the pressure gets too much. Love it, though, when someone's writing for like a minute and it just goes, yes. You think, how many ways did you try and draft? No.
As a Plymouth fan, I hope we have been fixing matches, because the other explanation is that we're shit.
Best chant I ever heard at a football ground was from Plymouth fans. I went to see Leyton Orient and Plymouth were playing. And at one point they went, "Are you watching Exeter?" And there was 0-0.
Our rivalry with Exeter is very vicious. I remember we played Exeter when their players got sent off, and Plymouth fans shouted, "You dirty northern bastards." They're 20 miles up the A38.
What do you pretend to know about, Joe?
Me? I don't think I get away with it anymore, so I just stop pretending.
That checks out. Harry?
People always pretend to me that they know about art. Like, everyone's always like about Vincent van Gogh. They're like, the sunflowers. They're like, oh, it's about the vagaries of time or something. I'm like, did you know him? Maybe you just like yellow?
I pretended to know what wind is the other day. Someone asked me what wind was. They said, do you know what wind is? And I said, yeah. And then I realised, I don't. Do you know what it is?
Oh, my God, I don't know.
No one knows.
It's when things blow.
Yeah, no, I know what wind is, but no one knows.
What causes wind?
We're all walking around pretending we know what wind is.
Is it because the Earth's spinning?
It's not because the Earth's spinning! Joe, what about when there's no wind? Have we stopped?
At least I'm chucking in some ideas.